Well, let's jump into it. I want you to kind of take us through. Let's give you an opportunity to point out some of the things that we're talking about in terms of the finishes. I mean, I can just look right here already. But I'm going to let you take it. Show us some of these details that you're.
So in this model, for example, we use the soapstone matte finishes on the countertops, which are just incredible. I mean, it's just
gorgeous.
Yeah, you come in and just like, whoa, what is that? People don't know what it is. And
I didn't.
I know, right?
I've been in a lot of houses.
It's just amazing. So you got Callista finishes on the faucets. Again, when you go back to simplicity and design, you bring in the beams that everybody wants, but you give them a distressed look, right?
Sure.
You give them that feel where it's not like, you go into most of the properties that you'll see are just, beams,
sure.
right? Smooth beams. I love them. But when you add
something like this
style to it, now you get that old world charm in there too.
It almost looks too that they may have pulled these from somewhere, some old barns, I mean, these look aged.
Yeah, that's the point, is that you go in and you have this style where it's like, that's different.
Yeah.
I love it. It's different. But then
very sexy.
You get your color mix, right? So you have look how clean this is. I mean, you do a soapstone backsplash, but then there's no borders, there's nothing fancy.
And I really like that. You don't have a big obnoxious hood.
No.
Those are kind of yesterday. I mean, you still have your vent up here, it's going to pull.
Yep.
But you don't have the that old world, I guess, looking hood in there.
I think people, we used to get so caught up with making sure that every little nook and cranny had some type of finish to it.
Or detail to it.
Yeah, or detail. And it's like, I get that, but it's out.
It is.
It's not the way it is now.
Yeah.
People don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
They want simplicity.
Well, times change.
Change.
You got to change with them.
That's exactly right.
I love the knobs here. I mean,
yep.
And I played with these doors a little bit here. It's excellent craftsmanship all the way through. What kind of flooring is this?
This is a washed oak floor. Wood is in. Everybody wants wood.
Right.
And again, it's also going back to kind of that distressed kind of look, but the washed oak. It just gives it a little bit more flair to it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's just some of the style concepts, but then you go into lighting packages too, right? Making sure that your lighting fixtures, because lighting's important to a home.
Absolutely.
Making sure that you have the right finishes on there. So quality is important. It's actually extremely important. So we want to make sure that we don't skip on quality, that the quality is throughout, but also it has that style that everybody wants too. And that's why we want to make sure that with any client is they get their own personal interior designer to work with them, so we build a perfect portfolio for you.
And that is so cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you start piecing those things together, cost can get away from you pretty quickly.
They usually do.
They do, right? I mean,
They
you've
do.
done it a few times.
They do.
I mean, you bring it all into one, and you mentioned the person in New York being an employee. Mm-hmm. It's not an outside contractor. It's not a separate company. It's all built in.
Yeah, and the thing is that they know how we build. They know our style, and then they know the client's style. So they know what would go with the house. They've done it 100 times, right? Like they've looked at the plan, they get the concept, they know what looks perfect. And then they match it up to what the client wants. And when you have integration like that, when you're building, our plans that we're building, we don't have 100 plans. We have 7 or 8 concept plans that we've built time and time again, so we don't miss a beat.
Sure.
So we know, so in terms of efficiency, we know what needs to go where, we know what we need to order, we know when it needs to go in. So when you can integrate all that, including design, I mean, you really set yourself up for a seamless process.
Yeah. How flexible are those?
As far as?
In terms of, okay, I want to add a room here, or I want to change a functionality of a room with a Jack and Jill setup. How functional are those floor plans?
Yeah, so we run into that a lot. I mean, look, when you're spending, we just, last month we sold 4 pre-construction homes through Skapa alone. And when you're running into people that are spending $3 million on a home, $3 million on a home, they do want some things, right?
Sure.
And they deserve them.
Of course.
So we don't want to take away and say, no, you build this plan or you're not building with us. We love making modifications to plans. But the great thing is that if we have to modify, say, a room or two, or say we have to bump out a closet, we can do it and still keep the main print of the home in place. And because we've already designed it, people save money on architectural plans. And that's the thing, think about it. So if you're building a custom home, it's going to cost you $100,000 plus to go get architectural plans.
Sure. That's before you start.
That's plans. That's prints,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, with us, it's different. We've already have the plans. We know what's going on. So you save money there because we pretty much have the perfect plans. We can make tweaks to it, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to do it.
Sure.
And that's also important too.
I like that.
Yeah, and in our architects, like I said, Eric Peterson, one of the best in the state. Bing Hu, one of the most famous in the world, right?
Yeah.
So we work with the best.
That's really cool.
And so there's a peace of mind knowing that, and there's also a peace of mind knowing too that when you buy a Skapa home and you have those great architects behind it, that there is going to be a future value that you can say that down the road.
Sure.
So,
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. Talk a little bit about this great room. I want to pull back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago, and you'd said, just the space, right, and the volume in here. 3,800. It feels like 3,800 square feet in here.
I know. And then you wait till you see the master too, and how
incredible.
big it is. So you take this great room area, right? And when I talk about design and fit and finish, when you look up here, right? So we got another 1.5 feet just from the trim work, and then we detail it out obviously within the coffers up there as well. So it adds to the volume of the ceiling. And then even from the lighting package, like those aren't your typical recessed lights.
Not at all.
They're designed, right? So having that, but also having, you got 8 windows up top to bring in more natural light. So now this room feels warm. It's not cold. It's not like just boxy. We add design to it. And now when we're sitting here, you have, you lay out your furniture here, TV up here, you got a wet bar area, you're open to the kitchen. So your family, this is
where you're going to spend your time.
Look, you have kids, you have a wife. You guys spend your time where? You spend it in the kitchen, great room, and in your master retreat.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah, 99%.
Mostly. So, we want to make sure that these rooms pop and they have the pizzazz. Now, the great thing, you got an office right over here too. Could be converted to a 5th bedroom if it wanted to be. But people like the fact that they can wake up in the morning, grab a coffee, go over here, start their work, get done what they need to get done, but they're still part of the home.
Sure.
They're not in this 9,000 square foot monstrosity that's...
Not in a wing.
You're not in a wing.
Not in a wing.
Right.
The master's this way?
Master's this way,
Let's check it out. You guys doing everything plumbed with gas? Is that primarily what you're focused on in terms of the fireplaces?
Yeah. If it permits, which obviously we got to make sure that...
Of course, sure.
Master bedroom, again, going to master suite, I go in some of these master suites, and some of them are just so enormous that it's like, whoa.
This is really comfortable.
It's the perfect size.
It is.
Right? Now, we do build other plans that have bigger master suites, but when we had the furniture in here, there was tons of room. There's plenty of room, right? So, again, going back to all the windows, natural light, accessibility from the master suites are important, so you can go outside, come in. When you go into the ensuite area, we want it to feel spacious. You come in here, take a bath, open the doors up, get some wind.
It doesn't feel tight.
It doesn't feel
That's
tight.
what I like about it. It's not massive and overly opulent, but it doesn't feel tight either.
Yeah, and there's no, again, going back to there's nothing fancy on the back walls. It's nice and clean.
Yeah.
And that's the way we build.
I really, really like it. This here really adds a lot of detail. I think the separation of this is just super sexy. And I'm already taking a peek into this closet, and it just pulls in too, to further complement what you've been saying with the seamlessness of it. It's not over the edge.
Oh, look how cool. So everything here is tucked away. Someone's gonna put a little island here. Sure. You can do your ironing.
But it's clean.
Look at this. It's just perfect.
Love it. Shoe racks or for sweaters. Good space, like you said. Or maybe you just leave it open. It's kind of nice to have just space.
The mirror.
Yeah.
But
I would.
keep this in mind. This house is only 3,866
I know,
square
it's
feet.
blowing my mind. It really, really is.
It's crazy.
It is. It's blowing my mind that, because again, just the rooms that we've been in already feel that we've consumed that much space.
Right. So this is obviously a 2-story home.
Okay.
So upstairs, and again, it's going to feel even bigger. So upstairs are 3 bedrooms and a loft area as well, which is great for people that have children. It's great if you have guests that come into town because they have their own area upstairs as well, because there's a nice entertaining area up there too. This one's on the Arizona Country Club, so you just get amazing views. And at night, it's awesome. The sunset's over here, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Whether you have guests over that want their own space at night, that want to come upstairs and watch TV, or if you have children, this is their spot.
This is their spot.
It's perfect. And
you know what I really like about it too, and it just kind of goes with everything else you said. It's not too big.
It's not too big.
It's not too big.
It's not.
You don't look at it and say, oh my God, you know, I've got to get 6 couches to fill this space,
Right.
and 2 of them are not going to be used.
You've seen these homes, so you go up, and they're just trying to make up that price per square foot number.
Sure.
So you go up in these lofts,
And they're enormous.
They're as big as a first floor.
Sure.
What do you do with that? Nothing.
Yeah,
No,
and,
and
put
actually-
a basketball court in it?
Yeah, but it looks awkward, right?
does.
It's like, how
Completely.
do I furnish it? So in here we got one of the bedrooms as well. This one has its own ensuite. The other 2 will share. But spacious,
Beautiful.
right? So this would be for usually the older child, or if you do have a guest, this would be theirs. Because this one, like I said, does have the ensuite. Great walk-in closet as well. Plenty of space back here.
Yeah.
Again, not skimping out at all. We continue the high-end finishes throughout the entire home.
Solid doors throughout.
Solid doors
Yep.
throughout. Great
no
lighting
hollow
package.
pores. Well, this is a really cool spot. I'm really impressed with what they're doing here. And so this one here, so we have 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms up here. So
3 bedrooms up here. These
Okay.
2 will share this Jack and Jill.
Love
so
it.
we can walk in here again, continuing the design finishes throughout.
really cool funky lighting.
Yeah, the light is amazing.
This is incredible.
Beautiful.
And you know what they've done in here, and this is really where you can see it. You get 2 good-sized rooms, but not overly massive, so you can have a larger functional
Yes.
space here.
Exactly. You know, even on some of these $3 million homes that I'm in all the time, it's the Jack and if there is a Jack and Jill,
They're tiny.
They're tight. And
Yeah.
it's like, hey, you still need some space. So
Well, you take it, and that's what they've done. It's a remarkable use of space. The architectural work here is really incredible. Very thoughtful.
yeah, thank you.
I love it.
Thank
I
you
love
very
it.
much.
Well, you've got to be so proud to be a part of this.
I am.
Now, you're the exclusive representative for Skapa, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, brother.
Yeah,
That's
so
really cool
we,
stuff.
You know, we have great projects going on right now, all throughout. Like I said, Paradise Valley, Silverleaf, DC Ranch Country Club, Arcadia, and it's amazing too because as the brand continues to gain recognition, and as we have more and more happy clients, we're getting calls. I mean, literally, we get
Getting calls.
almost every day. Hey, do you have any lots available? Do you have, can you build up here? Can you build, you build for my, you build for one of my relatives. Can you build for me? Like, people are really impressed. We did some
Sure.
work up in Desert Highlands, which went very, very well too. So, no, it is exciting to be a part of it. But it's exciting because I truly believe it.
I can tell,
Right?
I can tell. Well, if you're not passionate about it, it's not going to work. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of what this show's all about. It's bringing people like yourself to be exposed to the entire state, because we're statewide now, and it is your passion really permeates through the lens here, and I'm really excited to see what's over at Parkside. So we're going to head over there. We'll be back in just a minute. Catch up with us. We're going to be seeing Bryan over there and learning about the construction of the homes, these beautiful homes that they're building.